Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Continuing with the practice of reading inserts from O Levels English 1123 past papers. The insert which I have chosen for today's video is named as Alice. Now, basically, it is an extract, or you can even say that this is a self-written passage because the Cambridge examiners have to ask questions according to different types. Therefore, they particularly add certain words. So, this is a very interesting passage. It was a passage meant for comprehension questions, and some of the expressions were interesting, and I have written them on a piece of paper which I will be sharing with you. I typed them so that I can tell you how to enter words in your vocabulary dictionaries, which I have recommended you to make during summer vacation after I would have completed these 30 passages, which I promised, inshallah. So you should be adding words into your dictionary. So let's read it together. One of the rituals of Alice's life was going shopping with her grandmother, Elspeth. So the name of the grandmother is Elspeth. And one of the rituals is an important word over here. Ritual means it was a custom. It was a routine matter. And it was a routine matter of her life to go for shopping with her grandmother. She was allowed to hold the shopping bag, which, despite its short handles, knocked Alice on the leg when she carried it. So, you see how beautifully, in one sentence, the writer has explained the whole scenario, that she was allowed to hold the bag, although it was having short handles, but still it touched the legs of Alice when she carried that bag. Only certain things went in it. Her grandmother explained that vegetables and soap shouldn't be in the same bag, but tins and soap together were allowed, just as your mothers advise you not to keep vegetables along with soap or some other combination. Similar instructions were given by this grandmother. Peaches should not go in the string bag as they got bruised, meaning that they got injured. Not injured over here, it means that they will become rotten. Otherwise, bruises means injuries. Once, when Alice was carrying a box of eggs, she opened the lid to inspect them, and they slid from her hands, breaking on the pavement in a shock of shattered shell and a viscous, watery blur. Just imagine how beautiful this sentence is, and why it is beautiful because of the images which have been created. We can visualize the eggs breaking, we can visualize the trauma, the emotional tension in which Alice would have gone as a result of breaking those eggs. And this image of viscous watery blur, obviously the liquid which spilled from the eggs, all these create images in our mind. So this is the beauty of language. Such kind of language you should be using in your narrative and your descriptive essay. Even if it is narrative, images are compulsory to write in order to achieve A star. Otherwise, bland writing with just happenings of the events will not help you achieve A star. Don't worry, said her grandmother over and over again. And you see, this is so natural for the elderly people to repeat. And this also shows the care of the grandmother, that she repeatedly consoled her not to take tension. And this was also quite human, that the children are very fond of inspecting what is inside the bag. So, similarly, Alice also opened the lid to inspect the eggs, and in this inspection, she broke them. On this particular day, Alice was holding the string bag. Now, up till now, the routine things were mentioned, the rituals of shopping, and on this particular day, now the mention of this particular day, starting with a suitable, you can say, phrase. Alice was holding the string bag, comma, which she put over her head and pulled down over her body with the plated handles. So you see, these plated handles is now an expression which means braided. They were just like the ropes are intertwined. In the same way, these handles had been intertwined. Like this, you can say. Folding her arms under the webbing. When she wore it like that, did it not make her a perfect net man? It's a fictional character. So, holding the handles of the bags in a typical style compared her to a fictional character. Elspeth met a friend, the grandmother, and they talked for ages. When you meet your old friends, you talk and talk non-stop, and it feels as if ages are passing for ages outside the antiques shop. Now, where did they meet? Outside the antiques shop. So you must not write antique shop. It's always antiques shop because not one thing is lying over there. Too many old items are lying there. Alice started to jiggle about. She started in an unsteady way. She started moving in an unsteady manner. Jiggling is jingle bell, you would remember from this. As she held Elspeth's hand, Alice didn't like this friend much. Why didn't she like her? What are your presumptions? Because obviously she grabbed the attention of the grandmother. Grandmother would have ignored Alice, though, and she would have talked a lot with her, so that could be one reason. Without stopping her conversation or even looking down, Elspeth twitched Alice's arm. It means that just as the elderly people, just like your mother, they are intelligent enough to do two tasks at the same time. So similarly, the grandmother, she twitched. She means she contracted her muscles of the hands and she pulled Alice's arm, which Alice knew meant she was expected to behave just as your mothers do it without talking, sometimes with their body language or with sometimes with their gestures. They ask you to behave well in front of the guests. So similar thing has happened over here. So you see the language is so beautiful that we can visualize, we can hear, we can imagine what's going on, and it is also realistic. It's not fabricated. It seems to be real relationship between the granddaughter and the grandmother. Alice bent back the sole of her sandal under her foot. This is what the children do. They try to spoil something, even if they are spoiling their own shoes when they are pointed out by their elders. She tried not to look bored. She pretended to be very much in her form. Eventually, it's a nice connector at the start of sentences when you are trying to come towards the conclusion of something. So you should be saying eventually. She extricated her fingers from Elspeth's, meaning she got released, she got free. Her fingers from her grandmother's, walked over to the window of the antique shop and pressed her face to it. She started looking and peeping what is inside the antiques shop. At first, she was looking only at how tiny beads of moisture left a ghostly imprint of her nose and lips on the glass. First, what she saw when she touched her nose and lips on the window pane of the antiques shop. Obviously, it created an image over there, and beautifully, the writer has explained that image as if it were a supernatural being, a ghostly figure which had been imprinted on the window glass of the shop. Then she peered into the shop. Peered into, it's an again a nice expression. Looked into thoroughly with detail. Colon has been there. So what she saw in the shop will be explained in the same sentence. That is why colon has been written. It was very dark and strange things hung from the ceiling. Obviously, it was an antiques shop, so strange things would be there. But then she saw a glass cabinet, a cabinet made of glass, heaped with beads, earrings, and rings, and Alice's apprehension gave way to exhilaration. So you see, definitely the examiner would have asked own word question about this phrase, about the feelings of Alice on seeing the glass cabinet which was covered, which was full of jewelry and ornamentation, And as a result of watching and looking at these things, her fear turned into happiness. So, very clearly, I have told you the meanings of these two words which have been highlighted in green color. Apprehension means fear, and exhilaration means happiness and excitement. I will be showing you the written vocabulary of these after at the end of the video so that you can note them down by taking a screenshot in case there are some words which you did not understand while I was talking. Shall we go in and look? asked Elspeth. Soon Alice was standing next to a table with a surface so polished that she thought if she touched it, ripples would circle out from under her fingers to lap at its edges. Again, an image has been beautifully described over here. This is how, my dear student, you should write images, whether it is descriptive or whether it is narrative, because simple narration is not good for, it will not result in A star. So, what is the image? Just as soon Alice was standing next to a table with the surface of the table was so shiny, it was so polished, it was so much glimmering that she thought that if she touched it, waves would circle out from under her fingers it seemed to be a pool of water. It means that it was so bright and so shiny and so attractive. She looked around the dark red walls of this temple of wonders. So, the metaphor that she has used, or you can even call it personification for the antiques shop, is Temple of Wonders. And what did she see over there? Feathered fans, alliteration is there, gold edged paintings, lampshades, dangling strings, hanging strings of purple beads, and you must learn the usage of colon. That how, when you have to describe the list of certain things, you should just place colon instead of saying the list is this. So, you see, this is a beautiful way to learn punctuation through reading. We are getting information, we are getting vocabulary, we are enjoying, and we are getting the right word at the right place. Alice walked over to a carousel of clothes. Carousel of clothes means the hanging of clothes on a stand. You can say the display of clothes, dived down underneath it and then reappeared, surrounded by antique dresses and scarves. She ran her hand reverently down the clothes. Reverently means respectfully, with lot of respect, and turned round and round until dizziness started to smudge her vision. So she took so many round circles that she started losing her balance, and it seemed to smudge her vision. It seemed to spoil her vision. She was unable to see because of the dizziness. You must be Alice. It was the shop owner looming over the top of the carousel. So he was looming over the top of that stand or display of clothes, and he said that you must be Alice. He reached in, and Alice felt him grip her underneath her arms before the floor fell away, and she was rising toward the low red lantern covered with the writhing green bodies of dragons. Have you seen the usage of colors to describe things? That the color of the lantern is, you can say, a type of lamp which was used in old times. So it's red color, and writhing means twisting green bodies of dragons. So the color of the dragons, bodies of dragons, has also been mentioned, which was hanging from the ceiling. Since it was an antiques shop, so some unique things were also there, some unusual and some, you can say, supernatural things or similar to those were also there. Then the floor was coming up to meet her again, and she was sat down in front of the man. Tell me, he said, what do you like best in here? Alice didn't hesitate but pointed solemnly, seriously, she pointed out to the red dragon lantern. She said that this is what she liked the most, the red dragon lantern. He smiled and holding up a pearl necklace said, When you came in, I was testing these to see if they are real or fake. Now you see, the shopkeepers are always intelligent enough to distract the attention of the customers by attracting them towards something which they want to sell. So he did not talk about red dragon lantern. He made her focus on that item of pearls necklace which was in his hand, and he said that when you were entering, I was thinking that you would like it very much, and whether it is real or fake, I was trying to figure that out. He put the pearls into Alice's palm. The best way to do this is to put them into contact with human skin. So when you will touch it, you will come to know whether it is real or fake. So how would he test that? If they are real, they start to glow. So if you will touch them, if they are real, they will start shining. And now you see the beautiful sentence starting with an adjective. So when Alice listened to this information by the shopkeeper, she became enchanted. She was really excited, surprised, bewildered, befuddled, amazed. Alice watched the pearls for any signs of opalescent glowing, meaning that something was literally shining. I will provide you the exact meaning of this word which I have noted down in my notes. Suddenly, the man whipped them out of her hand. Maybe that method is too time consuming, he said. The other way is to rub them against your teeth. So he said the second method of testing this necklace is to rub them against your teeth. Real pearls feel like sand. Open your mouth. The shop owner rubbed the largest pearl against her two front teeth. Alice waited. So you see, the examiner and the writer gives us each and every minute detail. Two teeth, front teeth, and the largest pearl was touched. This adds adjectives to the language. Alice waited, spellbound. So you see, what a beautiful sentence. It does not require you to use and, but, so, also, again and again. You can start a sentence with an adjective. You can end a sentence with an adjective. There is no need to start your sentence with a pronoun every time. All these things will open your mind when you will read them along with me. There was a grainy feeling, a kind of friction. It means as if something was being rubbed. They are real, she exclaimed. The writer did not use the word said. You should also not repeatedly use the word said. You can use different words. The shop owner placed Alice on a dilapidated chair. Dilapidated chair? Well, because it was damaged. It was very, very old, you can say. Because it was an antique shop, so new chair was not made over there in front of a mirror, fastening the pearls round her neck. So he fastened the necklace around her neck. Elspeth appeared behind them in the mirror. Alice, we must go. The grandmother is free from her friend now, and she has turned back. Give the man back his necklace. She turned Alice round and began unfastening the clasp. So she started loosening the necklace which which the man had placed in her neck. No, no, said the shop owner. I would like her to have them. Don't be ridiculous, said her grandmother, propelling Alice towards the door. She forcefully pulled Alice towards the door. Are you running a business or what? So you see, all this scene and all this situation has been created. Maximum, you can say this passage has 46 lines. Previously, there used to be a very lengthy passages. Now, Cambridge has started giving us shorter passages with 40 to 50 lines, and the writer engaged us from the beginning till the end because of beautiful expressions, because of element of suspense. The grandfather was busy with her grandmother, sorry, and then how the shopkeeper tried to make a bargain, tried to sell an item. And the beauty is because of the language and because of the expressions. And now I will be sharing the vocabulary which I spoke during my video. You can just take the screenshot. Okay, my dear students, here I have written down the meanings of all the words which I have shared with you from the passage Alice. You can take the screenshot. The first 9 words are visible in front of you on the screen, and the remaining words I am also going to share with you. You can have a glance of all the words These are there were 20 words which I noted down. So you see this word 16th word is a little bit challenging. I could not tell you the meaning of this word orally. It has been written. It means having a milky appearance, something which is very bright and attractive, which shimmers and changes colors in the light. Just as you can say crystal, it shines in when there is light. So this was the word which I wanted to explain to you. The remaining words I have explained orally. You can take the screenshot. That is all from my side. Remember me in prayers. Keep reading. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.